some noise for the Super Stocks. Cheer them on as they come off of turn number 4, 20 laps. Pick out your favorite. Here we go. The green is in the air. We're underway. And they're off into 1 and 2. Monet trying to take the top spot. Here comes PJ Popham. Big trouble in the back of the field. Couple of cars coming together in turn number 2. That is downtown Bo Brown and John Tribble. So trouble for those two drivers. See Andrew Nelson slowing on the back straightaway in car number 22. So just goes to show how crazy these starts and restarts can get here at Electric City Speedway. Bo Brown was starting 10th, and John Tribble was starting 13th. And they still somehow came together. So we will see a complete restart. Yellow line is back on. Still got a driver out of line. So we'll get that squared away and go back to racing here pretty soon. Let's try it again. Green flag's in the air. 3 wide run into turns 1 and 2. Trouble. PJ Popham spins it out right in front of the field, and Andrew Nelson does not miss him. So PJ Popham rolled her into 1 and 2, spun out right in front of the field, and Andrew Nelson with nowhere to go nosed right into PJ Popham. So that's the second caution here in this Auto Works Repair and More with Soda Super Stocks main event. Have yet to complete a lap, have yet to make it through 1 and 2 without issues. So we'll keep our fingers and toes crossed on this upcoming restart. So the track is clear, but there is fluid over in turn number 2. So we'll have these cars trying to run that into the racetrack so that they can have a nice, consistent racing surface to race on. Like to send a quick shout out to Star Radio. If you're looking for the perfect way to reach listeners across north central Montana, choose Star Radio Great Falls. They've got everything from country to rock, contemporary, hip hop, news talk, as well as sports. All your radio needs. Go and choose Star Radio. We appreciate their partnership with Electric City Speedway here tonight. All right, keep your fingers and toes crossed here. 20 laps to go. Green is back out. We're underway with Auto Works Repair and more with Soda Superstocks. Drag race into 1 and 2. Monet down on the inside takes off with the top spot. Matt Tribble into the second position off of turn number 2. Jason Johnstone, Pacer Popham, Patrick Lemire there as well. Coming off of turn number 4, Popham takes the third spot from Jason Johnstone. Into 1 and 2, Bill Monet continuing to lead down on the bottom of the racetrack. Trying to keep an eye on the progress of 8-time feature winner Casey Stephenson as he comes off of turn number 4, running in the back end of the top 10. Now back into 1 and 2. Monet starting to assert himself over this field as he's got a half a straightaway 1.1 second advantage in the 108. Off of turn number 4, Tribble in second. Now here comes Tim Johnson. Johnson way up on the top of the racetrack. Off of turn number 2, takes over the third position. Down the back straightaway and into turn number 3, keeping her wheeling up on the top side. The black, white, and green number 1 is going to take the second spot. Now he's going to try and run down Bill Monet. Monet gets sideways off of turn number 2. Casey Stephenson coming forward as well. Now is into the 4th position. Tim Johnson into the second spot, coming off of turn number 4. B-Money's a sitting duck, and the caution flag comes out. So that caution came out for the L1 of Andrew Johnson. And we'll see black and yellow. Black and yellow flag in effect. You cause a caution from here on out, you're done for the evening. So Bill Monet looking good, catfishing around on the inside. But Tim Johnson had a lane up on the top of the racetrack trying to run down Monet. Monet's going to have to do something on this restart to keep Johnson behind him. Tim Johnson is scored as second. So he's on the outside of row number 2. And Johnson is your second place runner. Tribble is in third. Pacer Popham, Casey Stephenson the top 5. 4 laps complete, 16 laps to go. Monet has the lead, and we're back underway. B-Money hammers it, but here comes Sasquatch up on the top of the racetrack. Tim Johnson has his foot through the floor. Down the back, shooting into turn number 3. The one junior is looking for the top spot. Coming off of turn number 4, Monet's going to try and keep the lead. He does by the hair on his chinny chin chin. 3/1000ths of a second. Johnson through 1 and 2. Down the back, straightaway, side by side, all the way around the Electric City Speedway. Casey Stephenson looks on, and yellow flag is out for Chance Carlisle. Back to green, 15 laps to go. Johnson out in front. Here comes Casey Stephenson. Bill Monet down on the inside. 3 wide through 1 and 2 that time. Johnson through 3 and 4 with Casey Stephenson in tow. Monet down on the bottom, battling with Casey Stephenson. Stephenson is able to maintain the second spot this time. Through 1 and 2, Stephenson is able to put the nose back into the second spot. Monet still getting a good drive off of the bottom of the racetrack. As Tim Johnson takes over the race lead. Through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Stephenson trying to fend off the charge of Bill Monet so that he can try and run down Tim Johnson. Johnson changes up his exit this time off of turn number 4. 1.3 is the advantage for Johnson. Casey Stephenson moving down to the middle of the racetrack. Through 3 and 4 this time. Tim Johnson continuing to lead. Into 1 and 2. Casey Stephenson trying to close. Instead, he pushed big time. Trouble in turn number 4. It's Jason Johnstone. Just when the race was starting to get good, caution comes out again. That's the 5th caution of this feature event. 9 laps complete. Get your 50-50 raffle tickets out. You're walking home with $917 here this evening. $917. The winning number is 276494. 276494. Please go to the 50-50 raffle ticket table to claim your prize. All right, green flag is back out. Casey Stephenson chose the inside lane and stays with Johnson off of turn number 2. Matt Tribble to the inside of B-Money off of turn number 2. Can't make the pass for third. Casey Stephenson to the inside of Johnson off of turn number 4. Money to the inside. Here comes Monet. Steffensen trying to slam that door on the 108, has trouble holding the bottom, and he drifts way wide, and Johnson gets away from him. Halfway home this time, 10 up, 10 down, 10 to go. Back through 1 and 2. Johnson is your leader. Casey Steffensen doing everything he can to try and keep pace. Bodie Smith has been on the move, boys and girls. He's into the 4th spot. Bodie Smith started 14th. 14th to 3rd, 14th to 4th. Looking for 3rd is the run for the 32. Making moves, not faking moves in the 32 star. Johnson continuing to lead out in front. Steffensen throws a haymaker again, but he can't make it happen. Through 1 and 2. Bodie Smith has her wheeling and dealing up on the top of the racetrack. Comes after B-Money off of turn number 4. Steffensen with a misstep. Monet hears Smith out there and closes the door into 1 and 2. Bodie Smith trying to take the 3rd spot from Bill Monet. Steffensen may be in hope for caution mode right now as that lead is lengthening for Tim Johnson. Pacer Popham pulls off the racetrack. Into 1 and 2. Monet and Tribble. Check that. It's Bodie Smith and Matt Tribble going at it for 4th. Monet trying to keep pace with Casey Steffensen. Steffensen is 2.3 seconds behind Sasquatch. Tim Johnson down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, he will get the 2 to go signal. Through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Monet trying to keep pace is off of turn number 4. The white flag is out. The search for Sasquatch is over. He's rolling down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. In his Electric City Speedway debut, Tim Johnson wins at Electric City Speedway. Casey Steffensen in 2nd and Bill Monet in 3rd. So the amount of different winners in the Superstock division is now 2. He's rolling into victory lane. Tim Johnson coming to us out of Brainerd, Minnesota. A legend in his own right behind the wheel of any fendered car. Talking to Joey Tinker, a guy who looks up to this driver, and now he comes out, climbs out of the race car. Tim Johnson wins at Electric City Speedway. Sending it down to Jeremy Myers in victory lane.
That was pretty awesome out there. What did you think?
I think the track's pretty awesome. It's been pretty good all night, and I'm anxious to get out there with the street stock a little bit.
So is this the last time we're going to see you on the podium tonight, or what are you thinking?
I don't know. That car's been pretty fast, and we won with it last night, so we'll have to see.
All right, well, Tim, this is awesome. It's an honor for you to be here. Would you just tell these fans, because a lot of these people don't know who you are, and would you tell them what you've done and what you've accomplished so far in your race career?
I've been racing 30 years. I mean, I've raced everything from late models to sprint cars to street stocks to Mod 4s. I mean, I've pretty much ran everything but a big block modified. And so sort of quit my job and started helping guys out, building cars on the side. And it's a great opportunity to come out here and do this. We've been trying to do it for like 3 years, but it's like it just finally got out here and got it done. So,
well, congratulations, and we hope that next year you'll be here and bring some more people with this, and we'll get some more prize money and see what we can do. Sound good? Congratulations very much. Let's give it up for Tim Johnson, guys. Somewhere? You have the board?
Late model fans, where are you at? Carly Johnson, you are the Kid Club Trophy presenter for the late models. From the back to the front for the 406 Flooring with Soda Late Models feature event. Scheduled to start 10th, three-time feature winner at Electric City Speedway this season out of Billings, Ty Hampel. And starting 9th at a Belgrade in car number 24, Dwayne Fowler. Starting 8th in car number 68 from right here in Great Falls, Jim Zaremski. Starting 7th at a Great Falls in car number 99, Nick Brindley. Starting 6th in car number 30, Gary Hill. Starting in the 5th spot in car number 14X, Jeremy Castro. And a pair of one cars starting on the second row, starting 4th in the red 1X. It'll be Vernon Hill. And starting 3rd in the 1H, Vernon Hill Jr. And on the front row, in the 00 out of Billings, Bo Nave. And on the pole here tonight in Travis Shoemate's number 4C, Smoke and Joey Price. Field rumbles into turn number 3. Green flags in the air. We're underway at Electric City Speedway. Joey Price takes off into 1 and 2 with the top spot. Down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. VJ tries to nose into the second spot. He does so into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, Vernon Hill Jr. into the second spot. He's going to try and run down Joey Price. 3 wide for the 4th position between Hill and Castro off a turn. Oh, trouble! Vernon Hill Jr. spins it out right in front of the field. Big trouble for Vernon Hill Jr. letting her air out on the top of the racetrack. One lap complete, and the guy who was trying to run down Joey Price, who had already amassed a 1 second lead, will have to go to the back. You little boy standing down on the front straightaway fence, need you to find a seat right now. Blue shorts, find a seat right now. Thank you. Do not stand on the front straightaway fence with cars rolling on the racetrack. Thank you very much. So that changes things. Basically, everybody behind Vernon Hill Jr. is going to move up a spot. So now Bo Nave is in second. Vernon Hill is in third. Jeremy Castro in fourth, and Gary Hill is in fifth. Great move by Bo Nave to miss Vernon Hill Jr. Light out with 1 lap complete. Green flag is back out. We're underway. Back into 1 and 2. Joey Price rolls to the bottom of the racetrack. Vernon Hill follows him through. Here comes Bo Nave with a whale of a run on the top of the racetrack. Gary Hill trying to follow him through. 3 wide for third, this time off of 4. Jeremy Castro in the 14X down on the inside. Holds that third spot now. Castro sideways through 1 and 2. Lets Nave get by and holds up Gary Hill enough to let Jim Zaremski trying to get by on the inside. Trouble for Nick Brindley in turn number 2. He spins her out. 2 laps complete. And Nick Brindley brings out the second caution on lap number 2. All right, 2 complete. Green is back out. Vernon Hill Jr. with a good restart. Into 1 and 2, trying to stay with Joey Price down at the bottom of the racetrack. Lets that back end drift a little bit. Here comes Nave and Castro. They split Vernon Hill into turn number 3, and now they're duking it out for that second spot. Castro has it by a nose into 1 and 2. Now Bo Nave on the top of the racetrack trying to air him up and get back into P2. This time off of turn number 4. Joey Price trying to set sail and hide. Vernon Hill back into the third spot. Through 1 and 2. Shoemate leads it over Castro. Hill, now Zaremski to the inside of Bo Nave off of turn number 4. Vernon Hill Jr. trying to work his way back through this field. 5 laps complete for Joey Price. About a half a straightaway over Jeremy Castro, 2.5 second lead. Vernon Hill, a little squirrel off at turn number 2 on exit, trying to hold that third spot. Jim Zaremski trying to keep pace. Vernon Hill Jr. back into the top 5 off at turn number 4. Through 1 and 2, Vernon Hill Jr. trying to continue his charge back through the field. Through 3 and 4, the black, white, and blue 1H. All over the 68 off of turn number 2. Can't make anything happen this time. It's all happening. 4.5 seconds behind Joey Price. Vernon Hill with the shot at second off of turn number 2. Can't make it happen this time. Halfway home, 10 up, 10 down, 10 to go. Everybody down around the infield tractor tires in this feature event. It's Price, Castro, Vernon Hill, Jim Zaremski, Vernon Hill Jr., Dwayne Fowler, Gary Hill, Bo Nave, and Nick Brindley. .2 is the lead for Joey Price. Off of turn number 4, Zaremski and Vernon Hill Jr. Hill Jr. trying to venture to the top of the racetrack and find a way around the 68. Closest battle on the racetrack. Price nearing a track and a half lead. A half a track lead, rather, as Nick Brindley spins it out in turns 1 and 2. Second caution brought out by Nick Brindley in this feature event. 13 laps complete. Thereabouts. And Joey Price continuing to lead. So the yellow and black flag is back out and in effect. No cautions caused from here on out. If you cause a caution from here on out, you are done. And it is Nick Brindley's second caution of this feature, so he is done. He will have to retire that 99 car. .13 laps complete, Joey Price. 12 laps complete, Joey Price with 8 laps to go. Off of turn number 4, back at it. Good start for Price. Castro into the second spot around Vernon Hill off of turn number 2. Hill leaving the bottom open. Jimmy Z. Now Vernon Hill with a whale of a run into turn number 3. He drove her in deep. Castro's able to keep her smooth. Off of turn number 4, Castro checks up. And Vernon Hill takes the second spot. Castro steps it back up off of turn number 2. But Vernon Hill slams the door on the 14X. Vernon Hill Jr. a little sideways, and he gets tagged by Bo Nave. Everybody stays clean and green, though. Castro out of shape. Now Zaremski out of shape. Off of turn number 2. Here comes Gary Hill trying to get around the 68 now into turn number 3. Zaremski closes the door on Gary Hill. 5 to go. Down the back, straightaway and into turn number 3. He will turn for 4 to go in the 4C. Zaremski challenging the 14X into 1 and 2. Jimmy Z trying to put the nose into the 3rd position, and he does so off of turn number 2. Gary Hill trying to follow him through. Castro and Gary Hill going side by side for the 4th spot. Castro going the wrong direction. Zaremski a little high, wide, and handsome. Now they're 3 abreast for that 3rd spot. 2 to go for Smokin' Joey. Into turn number 3. It has an off of turn number 4. The white flag is out. This year, we've seen Joey Price in quite a few different race cars here at Electric City Speedway. Into turn number 3 and off of turn number 4. He's going to put Travis Shoemate's late model in victory lane. Joey Price wins at Electric City Speedway, waving at the crowd as he crosses the start-finish line. Vernon Hill in 2nd, and Vernon Hill Jr. battles his way back to 3rd. Where in the world did he come from? Wow. Carly Johnson. Carly Johnson, you are the Kids Club Trophy presenter. Joey Price. I doubt he forgot where victory lane is here at Electric City Speedway, a guy who has sat in it multiple times, especially over the past 5 years. He will come into victory lane this time. Pulling it into victory lane, ladies and gentlemen. Your 406 Flooring Wissota Late Models, a feature event winner. Getting a look on the Jumbotron right into the eyes of Joey Price. Helmet's off. He's out of the race car. Ladies and gentlemen, Smokin' Joey Price. And we'll toss it down to Jeremy Myers in victory lane.
Different car, but same results. What did you think about that tonight?
Man, it was fun. Me and Travis decided to put it together about a week ago and ran pretty good and handled pretty good. Couldn't win any better.
My gosh, you were about a half a lap in front of everybody on that. It was almost like you were just on cruise control.
Yeah, man, I'm good on that kind of stuff, and the car was really good. I would just drag the brake. The motor was good. It pulled good out of the corner and dogged them out.
Well, congratulations. That was an awesome race out there. It was great to see. There was just no competition out there for you tonight. You just kicked a little bit of ass, didn't you?
Yeah, I told these guys if it goes slick, this motor sounds like a crate, but it runs pretty good. But I was like, if it goes slick, we'll be fine. And it showed you didn't need all that motor tonight.
Do you want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors or over to Shoemate over there?
Yeah, got to thank Travis, Fred, Morgan, Cooper. They all made this all happen. We've been working our tails off during the week on it, and everybody in my family that helps, my dad, my mom, Sean Zelinka, Brandon. It's team effort. Austin Epperson helped us tonight. Yep, team effort.
Hey guys, why don't you give it up for Joey Price tonight, your late model winner.
Joey Price putting Travis Shoemate's late model in victory lane. Joey's got a quick turnaround. Liam Draper, 11 years old. Please, you are the Kids Club Trophy presenter for this upcoming AMOD event. So be ready. From the back to the front, 22 starters scheduled for this Alliance for Youth IMCA AMOD's main event. In the 22nd starting position, car number 98H, the Dark Knight, Colby Hanna. Starting in the 21st position in the 00W, it'll be Riley Wolf. On the outside of row number 10 in the 21 Junior, Captain Skinny Pants, Caden Craver. And on the inside in car number 31, J.D. Olson. On the outside of row number 9 in the 4C, it'll be Travis Shoemate. And on the inside, coming to us out of Florence, Montana, the 47R, Alan Riley. Row number 8 set to line up like this. Car number 85, Brayden Lemire. Starting 15th in the 21X out of Helena, Tom Olson. Row number 7 on the outside in car number 2, Mike Pistolak. And starting 13th in the 16OZ, C.R. Eisenzimmer. Row number 6, this will be the row to watch. Ty Clemens starting 12th. And the most recent feature winner in this division at this racetrack, the 2C, the big unit, Jordan Tossie. On the outside of row number 5, and car number 37 just saw him pick up the victory in the late model division. Smoking Joey Price starting 10th. Starting 9th, out of Belgrade in the 5X, the Bandit, Taylor Johnson. On the outside of row number 4 out of Belgrade in car number 21, Corey Craver. On the inside in the 009, Greg Adcock. Your front 3 rows, car number 26, Casey Kynette, starting on the outside of La Rocket, Sean LaRock. On the outside of row number 2 in car number 44, Brick Wall, Devin Jadwin. Starting third in car number 60, John Price. And on the front row, coming to us out of Florence in the 45B, Brett Riley. On the pole here tonight from right here in Great Falls, car number 9K, the Flying Worm, Corey Wormling. 22 cars, 20 laps. Where are the modified fans at here tonight at Electric City Speedway? Make some noise for the Alliance for Youth IMCA Modifieds. Lights out, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. Pick out your favorite. The Alliance for Youth IMCA Modified, set to go 20 times around the Electric City Speedway. Corey Wormling and Brett Riley into turn number 3. And off of turn number 4, as Bobby Gerald would say, the green is in the air. We're underway. And they're off into 1 and 2. Cars 3 and 4 wide, but we make it through 1 and 2. Corey Wormling has the lead. Devin Jadwin now into the second spot. Here comes Sean LaRock to his inside off of turn number 4. Jadwin's going to maintain that second spot by the hair on his chinny chin chin. Keeping an eye on the guys moving through the field as Sean LaRock starting to maybe take shots at Corey Wormling off of turn number 4. Wormling has led the opening 2 laps. Through 1 and 2. Wormling continues to lead just a half a second. Casey Kynette and Taylor Johnson doing the split maneuver on Riley. That's for 4th. Casey Kynette rolling the top in the 26. Joey Price right behind them. Here comes Jordan Tossie as well, keeping an eye on Ty Clemens. 10th, 11th, and 12th starters all trying to come forward. Corey Wormling has moved up from the inside of the racetrack. He's keeping that left front right there in the moisture through 1 and 2. Now off of turn number 4, he keeps it down on the tractor tires a lot better that time. Devin Jadwin now in third, under attack from Casey Kynette. Wormling struggling with getting through turns 1 and 2. Now he's struggling with 3 and 4. Here comes Sean LaRock. Battle for the lead off of turn number 4 with 6 laps complete. Through 1 and 2, LaRock it to the bottom off of turn number 2 with a run to the inside of Corey Wormling. Wormling able to slam the door this time off of turn number 4. Wormling, LaRock, Jadwin now. The Bandit, Taylor Johnson, is into the top 5. Casey Kynette trying to get onto the podium as LaRock has a run. Down the back straightaway, Yeller Feller. Yellow, yellow, yellow. It is Travis Shoemate at the top of turn number 4. Seven laps complete. Corey Wormling looking pretty good out in front. But Sean LaRock was very smooth down around the infield tractor tires. Want to give a shout out to Tatanka for coming out here tonight and supporting us here at the races. Join us for a cigar afterwards in the pits. Thank you to Tatanka once again. Ken Weinheimer and crew. Liam Draper, you are the Kids Club Trophy presenter. Be ready. Now, the Delaware double file restart coming out here with 7 laps complete, rather. Sean LaRock has chosen the inside of the racetrack. Devin Jadwin is on the outside. Casey Kynette's chosen the bottom after running majority of the top through the first few laps of this race. 7 complete, 13 laps to go. Back to green off of turn number 4. Corey Wormling continuing to lead. Got a great restart. Jordan Tossey flexing his muscles, trying to get through. His car's coming together right in front of him. Taylor Johnson kissed the tail end of Casey Kynette and allowed Tossey to get by the 5X. Now Kynette is in trouble. Jadwin in trouble, big trouble. His car's coming together through 1 and 2. Colby Hanna, who had driven his way through the field. We got a traffic jam in turn number 2. Holy Toledo. I see Braden Lemire, Colby Hanna, Mike Pistolak, Corey Craver, Caden Craver, rather. The 21X is, we'll get a look at the replay. Have them stacking up there on the left of your screen. That was Jadwin and Casey Kynette. Tossey was able to get through, and then a tough break for Taylor Johnson as he got hooked into the tractor tires there on the inside. Corey Craver with nowhere to go. Riley Wolf. And Greg Adcock over there as well. Tom Olson, one of the cars involved in turns 1 and 2. Get a look at a different angle. You see Johnson running up over the left rear of Jordan Tossey. So we'll see if that did any damage to Jordan Tossey. As Tossey was nearing in on the top 5. He was running 6th. As we've got Braden Lemire stopped at the top of turn number 4. After the street stock feature, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stick around for a surprise. We'll leave it at that. Shout out Mike Perkowski for coming out and helping us out in timing and scoring here this evening. Always good to have Mike here in the booth on the timing and scoring at the timing and scoring table. I will say one of the worst mistakes Mike made was shaving his face a couple years ago. My personal opinion. He's acting like he can't hear me right now, but J.D. Olson stopped here on the front straightaway, perhaps giving some pointers to his replacement for the evening. Taylor Johnson on the hook. That caution being called on the 85 of Braden Lemire. So everybody else, if they can still roll, they will get their spot back on this upcoming restart. So Braden Lemire is now in need of the hook over in turn number 4. So we'll get him cleared. The lineup is at least close to good. So as soon as Lemire is cleared, we should be good to get back to racing here with 12 laps still yet to complete here in this A-Mod main event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 12 laps to go. Corey Wormling with a mad pack of dogs that's only getting faster behind him. Off of turn number 4, we're back to green. Sean LaRock with a good restart. Can't do anything with Wormling this time. Now LaRock with a great drive off of turn number 2, side by side for the race lead. Off of turn number 4, LaRock and Wormling coming to the start-finish line by the hair on his chinny chin. Corey Wormling remains the leader. Ty Clemens out of nowhere is into the 3rd spot. What in the world? Where'd that guy come from? Into turn number 3, Wormling's wheeling and dealing, trying to get back out in front. Sean LaRock is out in front. Wormling's into 2nd. Ty Clemens looks on in 3rd. Jordan Tossie into 4th. Devin Chadwin in 5th. LaRock as Wormling pushes off of turn number 2. Now Sean LaRock is being stalked by the guy who's already won here a handful of times this year. Off of turn number 4, Ty Clemens is looking for the race lead. He's got to run into 1 and 2. The Wiz from 12th up to the lead, potentially off of turn number 2, side by side down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Clemens thought about slamming the door. LaRock comes back on the bottom. Coming to the start-finish line, it is Ty Clemens out in front. From 12th to the lead, and all for naught. Adcock is one of them, and it looks like Riley Wolf is the other one. Yellow flag is out once again. Getting a look at the replay. Adcock and Wolf just coming together on the bottom of the racetrack going into turn number 3. All right, let's break down this upcoming restart here. So Sean LaRock, who has been up front, looking real good, driving a very smooth race down on the bottom of the racetrack, now has 12th starting Ty Clemens. Right behind him, 11th starting Jordan Tossie in 3rd, and Joey Price is in 5th. 11 complete, 9 laps to go. Back to green this time. A ragged start. Ty Clemens out in front. Jordan Tossie off of turn number 2 into the 2nd spot. Joey Price is into 3rd. Off of turn number 4, Jordan Tossie going to go side by side with Ty Clemens for the race lead. 12 laps complete, 8 laps to go. Joey Price has moved into the 3rd spot. LaRock back down to his inside off of turn number 2. Can't make the pass this time. Jordan Tossie keeping pace with Ty Clemens. Tossie, Clemens off of turn number 4. Give it to Clemens as he continues to lead. 0.3 of a second between the Wiz and the big unit. Clemens with a great drive off of turn number 2 that time. Tossy keeping the 2C down on the bottom. LaRock not letting up the pressure on Joey Price into 1 and 2. Devin Jadwin is into 5th. Casey Kynette is 6th. Tossy keeping the pressure on Clemens. That time he was 0.2 of a second behind him. Clemens getting a good drive off of 2, but Tossy was better off of 4 last time. Let's see what happens now. Off of turn number 4 this time, Clemens is going to lengthen his lead ever so slightly by a 1/10. Into 1 and 2, Clemens continues. Tossy keeping that pressure on. Joey Price has asserted himself in the battle for 3rd. Colby Hanna in the 98H from the 22nd starting position has moved into 8th. And now is looking to continue his charge forward as Corey Wormling gets a little sideways right in front of him. Going through 1 and 2, Tossy continuing to keep pressure on Clemens. Down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Tossy's going to have to make something happen fast. Off of turn number 4, they will turn for the white flag. The Wiz in the big unit for the final time. Into 1 and 2. Tossy drives her in deep. Can't make the pass through 1 and 2. Clemens smooth through the middle. Down the back shooting into turn number 3. Ty Clemens off of turn number 4 is going to visit Electric City Speedway once again. Ty Clemens wins it. Jordan Tossy in 2nd, Joey Price in 3rd. Tossy, Clemens from 12th, Tossy from 11th, Price from 10th. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? From 12th starting, Ty Clemens picks up the victory once again here at Electric City Speedway. Ty Clemens about to pull it into victory lane once again here at Electric City Speedway. For the 7th time in 2026, the white number 12. Clemens working on getting himself unbuckled out of the 12 car. Got his helmet off. He's climbing out for the 7th time in 2026. Ty Clemens wins at Electric City Speedway.
Well, Ty, what do you think about that? All the way from 12th place. Take us through that. And how did you go from 12th all the way to 1st?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I chose the right line. I think maybe down on the tires was actually faster. I passed some cars down there after that last restart, and it was pretty easy. And then I moved back to the middle. Not sure if I made the right decision there. I'll have to look at some lap times. But I saw they're telling me it was Jordan poking his nose underneath me there. So I have to be just a little bit better, make it a little more comfortable next time. But car was really good. These guys over here, Ben Nichols, Chris Valdi, my kid Hank, working really hard on this thing. And we threw a lot at it as far as tightening the car goes up, or as far as tightening up the car goes, because we knew it was going to go slick. But the track was awesome. You know, huge thanks to Jody and the crew and Jeremy and everybody else that makes a really good, smooth racing service. So just happy to be up here again and excited.
Well, we appreciate you coming to Great Falls to race. You know, Jordan was down there quite a bit. You guys, until you go back and rewatch it, you're going to see how close he really was to you. When he was nosing in on you, what were you thinking at that time?
I thought I could hear him a few times, but I didn't see him until coming to white in 3 and 4 was the only time I ever saw him. And I thought, you don't know what decision to make, so I thought about parking it on the tires and trying to block that line. But I didn't quite know if I had him cleared, so I just thought I'd try to get as smooth as I could in the line I was running and try not to spin the tires. Man, it was slick off too. It was quarter throttle off too over there, and try not to fry the tires. And I don't know. I said, man, if you get smooth, I think you can beat him, and we did. So that's pretty cool.
Well, hey, congratulations. Let's give it up for
Ty Clemens.
Ty Clemens. There we go. I had to shock him there for a little bit. See, he's a good speaker. Modified winner, Ty Clemens. Here we go. Now we're getting ready for the next race coming up, which I believe is our feature race of the night tonight. We have street stocks coming up next, and we got $2,026 on the line.
Where are my street stock fans at, ladies and gentlemen? Make some noise for the Cars and Stars. Connor Lane. Connor Lane, you are the Kids Club Trophy presenter for this next feature event. The Street Stock Special has entered the arena. $2,026 to win. A custom mirror from Tink and Do Designs. And a Corey Strom Speedway Motors watch on the line. A toolbox to the 6th place finisher. 3-inch wheel from Racers Parts Supply. That toolbox also from Tink and Do Designs. '13th position, JR1 Motorsports. Hard Charger's going to get $100 from Jim Ryan. And fuel from JR1 Motorsports, so some extra incentive to get your elbows up in this one. And even some love for the last place finisher. He'll get $100. 17 cars scheduled to take the green from the back to the front. Out of Lewistown, Montana, car number 22, Alex Potter. Starting in position number 8, outside of row number 8, out of Conrad, Montana, in the 43C, Casey Durand. Daniel Harvey starting on the inside of row number 8. Row number 7 with Jaden Rain and Destry Adams. Marcus Hunter and Dusty Popham in row number 6. Row number 5 in the beer car is Matt Riesinger and Travis Shoemate. Row number 4 with Brian Johnson and Patches Be Fast, Patrick Lemire. Now to your redraw cards. This one's going to be the row to watch. The 814 of Cale Tinker and the 11 star of Robert Petrov in row number 3. Row number 2 in Troy Wenninger and Braxton Tinker on the front row on the outside. Car number 98, Patrick Flippin' Harvey. And on the pole tonight, joining us from Brainerd, Minnesota. Already saw him in Victory Lane in the Super Stocks division. Sasquatch Tim Johnson on the pole. We need whoever's flying the drone to keep it off the track as the lights go out. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. 30 laps for $2,000. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, field rumbles down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Pick out your favorite with Tim Johnson and Patrick Harvey from the front row. You know what time it is. It is hammer down time on Thunder Hill. Work green at Electric City Speedway. Johnson takes off with the lead. Robert Petrov threw a bonsai move through 3 and 4. It did not work. Stacks up the field a little bit. Patrick Harvey holds a second spot. Braxton Tinker into turns 1 and 2 with the nose into the second spot off of turn number 2. The 102 is moving forward, but so is Petrov. Brian Johnson trying to split them as they're going to go 3 wide for the second spot off of turn number 4. Braxton Tinker holds a spot. Brian Johnson's a coming into 1 and 2. It's Johnson and Tinker. Wenninger there as well. So is Petrov. Harvey trying to fend off Cale. Check that. That's Cale Tinker on the outside. Cale Tinker on the outside in the 814. Past is Braxton Tinker. Yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag. Couple of cars coming together in turns 3 and 4. That's the 22 of Potter and the 21 of Destry Adams. See the 22J with damage to the back end of that black and purple machine. Damage to the right rear on the 22J. Two laps complete, 28 laps to go. Johnson hammers it. We're back to green. And they're off. Back into 1 and 2. Brian Johnson to the inside. Here comes Robert Petrov, almost 3 abreast for the race lead. Into turn number 3, Brian Johnson with the nose to the inside of Tim Johnson off of turn number 4. Petrov to the inside of both of them trying to make it work. Down on the bottom of the racetrack, throw a blanket over the top 3. Robert Petrov has the nose out in front off of turn number 2. Johnson going to try and battle back on the outside. Robert Petrov down on the bottom. Closes the door on Brian Johnson. Tim Johnson comes back on the outside. Sasquatch is back out in front. Robert Petrov now down on the bottom. Cale Tinker has joined the party. Into turn number 3, Brian Johnson. Sails are in. Dive bomb attempt. Can't make the pass. Johnson continues to lead. Petrov in second. Cale Tinker there as well. Tinker making an extra lane down on the bottom of the racetrack. He gets past Brian Johnson, tries to keep the nose to the inside of Petrov, can't make the pass. Off of turn number 4, Petrov trying to maintain pace with Tim Johnson. Lead starting to lengthen for the 1 junior. Johnson, Petrov, Tinker, Johnson, Weninger the top 5. Travis Shoemate into 6th. Hunter, Braxton Tinker, Patrick Lemire, Casey Durand. Patrick Harvey has fallen off big time. Brian Johnson battles back on Cale Tinker in the battle for 3rd off of turn number 4. Into 1 and 2. Johnson moves to the bottom of the racetrack. Tries to put a move on Robert Petrov and dumps him. Johnson entered low into 1 and 2. And Petrov ends up on the wrong end of that. So Brian Johnson will go to the tail end after causing the 2nd caution of the evening. Seven laps complete, 23 laps to go. Tim Johnson out in front. Robert Petrov trying to keep pace, and Cale Tinker up there as well. Green flag is back out. Back into 1 and 2. Petrov down on the bottom as the nose out in front of Johnson. Johnson battles back on the outside, side by side down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Johnson sailing her in on the top of the racetrack. Petrov down on the bottom. Johnson's going to take the lead back off of turn number 4. Petrov now out in front off of turn number 2. Petrov very good through the bottom of 1 and 2. But Johnson better through the top of 3 and 4, this time coming off of turn number 4. Now Petrov gets a better drive. Johnson coming, though. 99 tenths of a second now into turn number 3. 99 one thousandths of a second, rather. Petrov has the nose out in front. Drag race down the back, shooting into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, Johnson battles back. Petrov a little sideways. Tim Johnson clears him, and he's back out in front. We're a third of the way into this feature event. Cale Tinker making it a 3-horse race. Travis Shoemate moving forward in the 4C as well. Petrov and Johnson duking it out in front of this main event. Off of turn number 4, Johnson maintains the top spot by 0.2 of a second. Petrov down on the bottom of the racetrack is driven it in deep. Can he get up and clear Johnson? He has the 11 star out in front. Johnson better through the top of 3 and 4 again, this time off of turn number 4. But now here comes Petrov. Petrov about to slide up and take the lead. He's got it by 0.1 of a second. New leader, Robert Petrov, with 12 laps complete. Johnson going to try and battle back in the 1 junior. Cale Tinker looks on the 814, hoping somebody makes a mistake. Johnson coming back off of turn number 4 and by the hair on his chinny chin chin, 21 thousandths of a second. Tim Johnson is back out in front now. Petrov off of turn number 2 is able to clear him now into turn number 3. Johnson battles back on the top of the racetrack, coming to the start-finish line. The yellow flag is out. Harvey and Johnson. Check that, Potter. Lights out with 13 down and 17 laps to go. Tim Johnson and Robert Petrov and Cale Tinker, the top 3 as we bring it back to green. Into 1 and 2. Johnson now decides to go to the inside of the racetrack. Petrov down on the bottom, follows him through. Johnson goes to the top through 3 and 4. This time he's going to try and cut it down. Petrov is there. Off of turn number 4, Johnson's able to hold on to the top spot. Cale Tinker trying to bide his time off of turn number 2. Travis Shoemate and Troy Wenninger side by side for the 4th spot into turn number 3. Wenninger sails off and takes the 20 into the spot. Tinker and Petrov now. Cale Tinker on the top in the white 814 and the black 11 star duking it out for second. Tinker going to have to drive her in deep into turn number 3. Trying to take the second spot off of turn number 4. Petrov and Tinker give it to Tinker. Tinker, Petrov, Tinker. As Petrov puts the nose back into the second spot, it's Johnson out in front, not Tinker. It's Tinker's old car, not Tinker. Cale Tinker is into the second spot, trying to close in on the 1 Junior off of turn number 2. Cale Tinker and Robert Petrov and Tim Johnson all right there for the top spot. If you expected anything else, you came to the wrong racetrack. Johnson out in front. Cale Tinker and Robert Petrov trying to maintain pace. Tinker closes in on entry. Johnson able to get a decent drive off the corner. 11 laps to go. Robert Petrov to the bottom off of turn number 2. Challenges Tinker. Into 3 and off of 4. Tinker and Petrov getting closer. Tinker had to move down. Petrov through 1 and 2 has the second spot. Cale Tinker had it at the line. 10 to go. Now 9 to go coming off of turn number 4. It's Johnson, Petrov, and Tinker duking it out for second. Hunter is in 4th. Marcus Hunter is in 4th. Troy Winninger is in 5th. Cale Tinker consistently getting a good drive off of turn number 4. This time Petrov drives her in deep through 1 and 2. 8 laps to go. Petrov and Tinker going to have to do something to get back at Johnson. Johnson in true outlaw style trying to come in and spoil the party for the locals. Tinker takes the second spot into turn number 3. Petrov comes back at him. Oh, big trouble. Dusty Popham getting sideways. He's able to gather it back in. Tim Johnson with 6 laps to go. Off of turn number 4, Johnson, Petrov, and Tinker still going side by side all the way around the Electric City Speedway for that second spot. Tinker has it off of turn number 2 this time. 4 laps to go for Tim Johnson. Petrov, dive bomb slide job to the inside of Cale Tinker. Tinker able to battle back and motor back around him. Off of turn number 4, 3 to go. Through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Robert Petrov trying to close the door on Cale Tinker for the second position. Trouble on the front straightaway. Patrick Harvey's up against the outside wall. Oh boy. We will have a 4 lap to go. Dash to the finish. Tim Johnson will have Cale Tinker and Robert Petrov right on his back bumper. Troy Winninger and Marcus Hunter will round out the top 5. All right, we've got 26 laps complete, 4 laps to go. How many do you think Tim Johnson's going to hang on? Make some noise if you think he's going to hang on. How many of you think Robert Petrov's going to get up there and win this thing? Where are my Cale Tinker fans at? We're about to find out. Off of turn number 4, back to green. Good restart for Petrov down on the inside off of turn number 2. Here comes Cale Tinker. Off of turn number 2, Johnson's able to maintain the top spot. Petrov sails her off into the inside of turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, Johnson is going to maintain the lead, but Robert Petrov is down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to make it work. Into 1 and 2. Petrov has the nose out in front momentarily. Johnson battles back on the top. Tinker not too far behind. Off of turn number 4, they will turn for 2 to go. Petrov and Johnson side by side. Give it to Johnson. Johnson by 3/10. Into 1 and 2. Petrov has the nose out in front. Boy, if he could just figure out how to keep that 11 star out in front. Off of turn number 4. White flag, one last shot. Sasquatch is up on top. Tinker's there. Petrov off of turn number 2. Petrov has the nose out in front. Into turn number 3. Johnson battles back. They're going to come for the checkered. Off of turn number 4. Johnson and Petrov. Give it to Tim Johnson. Johnson's going to win it. Petrov is second. Cale Tinker is third. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Connor Lane, you are the Kids Club Trophy presenter. For the second time tonight, this man has never raced at this racetrack before. And he will pull into victory lane again. As the fireworks go off, the Triple T Concrete here by Tania. 1 junior. $2,026 a richer. Marcus Hunter unofficially the hard charger from 12th to 4th. Tim Johnson's out of the race car, ladies and gentlemen. Winner of the Street Stock Special here at Electric City Speedway. And we'll throw it down to Jeremy Myers.
All right. So congratulations. We said, are you going to be back to the podium? And you sure were. So what was that like? And especially, man, what a shootout at the very end.
Yeah, it was good running. Petrov's always a good runner. I mean, we've ran together before and stuff like that. So, I mean, he's always good, clean, and I didn't really know what to do when he kept getting underneath me, and then I could get away once I got back up to the top, and then made that late race caution, and then we just, I mean, had to be a good show for the fans for sure.
That was good. What did you think about that 30 laps out there, though?
It doesn't really faze me. I've done longer ones and stuff like that, so it's a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Well, we're excited to go see you down at the after-hour party now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Jim's going to present you a check here for our Street Stock Special. You get a check for $2,026 for the year. All right, Great Falls, what did you think about that tonight? What a great evening of racing here at the Speedway. Beautiful weather, great fans, great turnout tonight for the cars. It was a great overall night. I want to thank you guys all very much. And would you like to say anything?
With all three of these cars here. But that's what it's all about, fans. That's exactly what we wanted when we come up with this idea. And 2026 is that's a good amount. And that's exactly what we wanted. That's the race we wanted right there. And we can do this as fans. We can do this. We can build it even more. And it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Tim's gonna take the word back. He's gonna take it back there. How good a time he had this weekend, and it's gonna work. You know what though? Hey Robert, I think he deserved this tonight. Always put a fish on Robert's car for his wins, but I didn't think I'd put one on a Tinker car, but we did. All right, thanks, Jim. That is awesome.
All right, guys, and right behind you we have Ken. Ken is going to provide you guys here a championship cigar for Tim. Got Tinker and Petrov. What an awesome moment here, guys. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? All right, Great Falls, why don't you give a round of applause for all these hard-working drivers out here tonight. Okay. Ready for a trophy presentation as well? Come on over here. Go ahead and come over here between us. Get in the middle there. Go ahead.
We appreciate you all for coming out this evening. Congratulations to Tim Johnson once again on picking up 2 victories here at Electric City Speedway here this evening. Robert Petrov coming home in second, Cale Tinker in third. Street Stock Special in the books. We've got two-night shows to close out this season here at Electric City Speedway. Next weekend is a Racers Appreciation Weekend here on Thunder Hill.
Alrighty, and a good reminder for next week, guys, we are racing Saturday and Sunday. I know Sunday is a little different for us, but we are going to start at 5 o'clock Sunday. So please be prepared for that. Don't show up at 7 because you'll miss some action up here. So, but anyways, thank you guys very much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. What a great job you guys are doing for us, and what a great job these drivers are doing for you guys. So enjoy, be safe, and if you guys want, come back down here for the after party where we'll have a little bit more fun.
Thanks once again to Tatanka for coming out this weekend, or coming out tonight. We hope to see them back at the races. We hope to see you back at the races here at Electric City Speedway. If you're headed to the pits and you want to go through the front gate, please wait until the front straightaway victory lane has cleared. If you're headed to the exits, thank you for choosing Electric City Speedway for your Saturday night entertainment. I'm Kelby Cross. On behalf of Jeremy Myers and everybody else here at Electric City Speedway, Legacy Studio Productions, I'm Kelby Cross saying good night and God bless.